underneath the concrete tile roof, you can see that's your dead valley material, and then this is your underlayment over the rest of the roof. Underlayment here is only going to be 4 years old, so there's no real problems with it. That underlayment underneath these concrete tiles lasts about 15-20 years, and then you've got to replace it all, so you've got another 10-15 to go. Up on your concrete tile roof, really don't have much going on today. These are all your vents for the interior. These tall ones are going to be plumbing vents. These are going to be exhaust vents from bathroom, from the kitchen, things like that. That's your kitchen exhaust vent over there. These would be your bathroom for your primary back in this corner. Then all these little square guys are just attic vents, so your attic can ventilate a little bit. You do have solar panels installed on your roof. They're a little bit dirty today. That decreases their efficiency a little bit. I'm not doing a full inspection of them, but to get these things cleaned and to get some bird stopping put up around them, definitely keep the birds out. Although I don't see any bird poop up here today, so it might not be a big deal at this point in time. These are mortar caps, concrete mortar caps. They wear out after a few years. It's pretty typical to have those repaired under routine maintenance. Down in this valley right here, this is actually called a dead valley, so all the water is going to run down there and then run out. There is proper kick-out flashing on the front of that. This dead valley wears out a lot quicker than the rest of your roof does. So in another 5-6 years, you're probably going to have to replace that dead valley. It's just a membrane, asphalt impregnated membrane that gets stuck down in that area to prevent water from going down in there. Now this is proper kick-out flashing, so the water coming off that dead valley can wrap around here, and then this kicks it out so it doesn't land directly on this stucco and causing the damage here. I'd like to see that stucco hole closed up though. Bunch of baby spiders, daddy long legs. Bunch of spiders out here in the garage. Ugh. This whole ceiling is littered with spiders. Just a note about these low E windows, they actually reflect a lot of light, so the morning sun is hitting off your neighbor's window, bouncing right back, so it's probably going to shine pretty bright in there at certain times. That's actually known to get so hot to melt vinyl siding. Those areas, so just keep your eye out. If it starts hitting the window on this side, it might actually start melting some of this vinyl. Found a little pile of black stuff, looks like coffee grounds. This is on the west side of the property, but there's also quite a bit more by the front door, right on the bottom side of this front door. It's actually cricket frass or cricket poop. So they climb up in that area underneath your door, or underneath your door frame, and then they hang out in there, and then all their poop falls to the floor. So if I were you, I would definitely get an exterminator service to spray for bugs here. Hey, cricket. There's a couple holes in the front yard, a couple around the foundation, right there, right there. Seeing even more holes being dug in the front yard here. So a lot of this is just dirt. I know there's a little bit of rock here, but obviously it wasn't put on thick enough because they're digging right through the thin layer of rock and getting down underneath your house, whatever kind of bugs they are, or animals they need to go. Front of the house looks really nice. Your driveway, no cracking, no settlement. That drain right there by the walkway, it's got a couple holes in it, so I recommend that you replace that just so something doesn't get stuck in there and you don't trip. There are your holes in the front yard. Doorbell is working good today. Your flashing looks good around the sides. You've got bird blocking. One thing on these Houses in Arizona, they don't really have very good drainage, so I always recommend putting gutters up, whether you need them or not. All of our water drains into the backyard or onto the side of the house, and you just come to the front. So if we could just take everything off the roof and bring it to the front first, that'd be great. So your water meter is down here, feeds your main water supply right by the house. After it goes through a pressure regulator, so we're at like 45 psi today. So it comes up, then you can turn off your main water to the house right there. Goes through an anti-siphon hose bib, but then it's got an anti-siphon device for your irrigation system right here as well. So this taps in before the main shutoff, so you can turn this off and leave town and still irrigate your property. Solar panels up at the roof, they look good, dirty. Some bird blocking is recommended around the sides of them. More solar power equipment. Electrical panels looking good. Actually, the irrigation system was locked up today, so I'm not going to be testing that. There's hardly any plants here anyway. Electrical panel looks good. The final date on this was 2/4/21. City of Glendale accepted it 2 years ago. You got your load controller, landscape. This is all solar stuff down here. AFCIs, tested those. Arc fault breakers are working good today. Your range, dryer, your water heater, no gas, so everything's electric, but you still have plenty of room down here if you need it. This is actually your pre-treatment, so they treated your house for termites. Should be good for several more years. Well, the HVAC unit on the west side of the property here, it's a 3.5 ton Goodman unit. Connections look good. I'm not sure, they put a big elbow here for some reason. As long as it's working good, I guess that's okay, but I can't see below that. I don't think anything's leaking today. That's more of an angle than we typically see. But your condensing unit is actually going to pull water out of the air and dump it right down there. Moisture is going to dump down there pretty often, not a problem. We get water dumping out of that PVC pipe up there. That's the one that's connected to the drain pipe up in the attic. So if you see water coming out of that and dripping down, then you've got an issue. So we do have a shut off here for servicing the equipment, which is good, within arm's length of there. Should be inside. We need to seal in these gaps though. You can see somebody put some caulking in there. Just need to clean it up just a little bit more. But as for drainage, you know, our backyards, they drain towards the street in Arizona, and that's your one drain on this side of the house. And I don't know how much you're actually going to be draining because your AC unit is there now. Builders do this. They don't give us any room because they want to make room for another house. They'd rather sell another house than give you proper HVAC clearance and proper drainage around your HVAC unit. Just not a good idea. Pay attention to your drainage. We don't have any rock on the ground here, so everything that builds up water and washes away, it's all going to erode. This whole backyard is subject to erosion because there's no surface material on it. So if we build up a bunch of water and it washes to the front, that's where all your dirt's going to go. Backside of the house looks good. Again, with the rain gutters, it'd be great to just put one on each side and have it dump towards the front of the house. Condensing unit is kicking on right now. Slab looks great, column looks great, sliding doors, no issues there. Somebody was trying to build a pool. It's a clean house. Probably the smallest gable vent I've ever seen. Not really sure what that's gonna do. Seems like a builder's option. It's like all the houses have something tiny like that. Not gonna provide for a lot of ventilation up in the attic. Not even sure why they put that up there, but hey, whatever. What we got going on there? Nothing. So I walked by these a minute ago, but these two drain pipes on the east side of your house, they're connected to your water heater. One of them is going to be connected to the TPR valve, temperature pressure release. The other one's going to be connected to the drain pan directly below the water heater. So if either one of these are leaking, you've got an issue. Alright, so we just got up into the attic. We're on the HVAC servicing platform right now, taking a look around. Blown in cellulose insulation. Got a good amount of it covering up the bottom cords of the trusses. Got good insulation on your attic hatch. This is ventilation for your bathroom right there going outside. That's a vent for the bathroom to supply air, cold or warm air to the vent or to the bathroom. Ductwork looks good up here. I'm looking at trusses, making sure there's nothing broken. Looking at all the ducts, making sure it's all hanging properly the way it should. We've got some of the PEX, that's your water supply. The red is hot, blue is cold. That's the water piping that's used throughout the house. There is copper on the outside, but it's mostly PEX. This is just your air handler up in the attic. There's no gas service, so it's all electric. This just handles the cold and the hot air. Everything looks good. You want to make sure this pan stays clean. If there's anything that flushes down into that pan will go through this drain, and if that line gets plugged up, this pan will overflow and create a flood downstairs and create a bunch of damage. These are actually the ventilation, the square vents up on the attic. These are the entrance into the attic. So there's several of them. You can see the light shining through. Proper ventilation up here, but your attic looks good. Nothing crazy to point out besides you need a light up here. If you're not coming up here, it's not a big deal, but put one out next time a service technician comes out for your HVAC unit. There's a little bit of dust and debris built up on the registers inside the house. I would recommend just cleaning it out, but underneath here, this is really clean. Probably no need to clean out the ductwork. Your air conditioning or HVAC vent looks good today. It's 20 by 30. It's a little bit thicker than we like to see. Once this starts caking up with dirt, it's going to make that HVAC system really try and suck air through it really hard. So if this starts making noise, I would switch out to a thinner filter. Oh, I was waiting for it to go through a whole nother ding, 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 ding. Okay, whatever. Inside of the house looking pretty good today. It smells like mothballs in here. It's got that really sharp, distinct odor of like a mothball. Crazy, this must have been the playroom. Carpets, you're probably going to want to pull them out. They're only a couple years old, but they're stained pretty well in a few rooms. I haven't walked through everything yet. Laundry room is looking good. All your connections are working just fine today. The only switch you have is by the garage door. So there's no switch as you walk in through the regular house. There's nothing there. The only switch you're gonna have is right by the garage door. So a little bit of an inconvenience. Well, as long as the dryer isn't connected, I'm gonna go ahead and stick my camera up the flue and make sure we don't have any nails or anything like that obstructing the flue. Looks pretty clean. Straight shot too. I like it. What? These must be baby spiders. That is gnarly. Now that we got the garage door open, you can see all the spiders. Look at this. They're everywhere in here. This house has been vacant for a while. Spiders are usually an indication that you've got moisture. Or it's just been abandoned for a while. You just got dead spiders everywhere. Spider webs. Got a nail head popping up there. This house is stamped with a post-tension slab marking in the garage. That indicates that the slab was made with post-tension cables being run through it and tightened while the concrete was curing, so you cannot cut or drill into this slab. Seen a bunch more of this frass on the inside of the garage. You need some pest service control. Soft water loop here if you want to hook up a water filter, water softener. You can hook it directly into those. Here's your insulation sheet in the garage. They marked down with, I don't know, they got that marked at R60. I don't think so. You're probably going to be floating around R30. R49 it says, using 80 bags. So R49. Installed thickness 14.54 thickness of the cellulose blown in insulation. So typically we're looking at around that 10 inches. Gives us about R30. That's minimum standard. They claim that it's going up to 49 right there, so we got almost 15 inches of insulation. After it's settled, we're gonna lose about an inch or two. You know, it goes through the other stuff, bags per square feet, yada yada. Looks good up in the attic though. Water heater was looking good today as well, 2019. Original to the home, but it's almost brand new. Pretty easy to tell the dates on here. Manufacturing date, it's 50 gallon and manufactured by Ream. Those are what we're looking for. It's got a drain pan, so anything catches in that, it'll go right out to the outside. And then if that TPR valve leaks, that'll go right to the outside too. It doesn't really matter which pipes those are on the outside. If one of them leaks, you've got an issue, you just come in here and you'll figure it out. If you got water in the drain pan, it's that one. Garage door needs to self-close, which it does. It needs to seal tightly so no carbon monoxide is going to sneak in, which it does. Looks good, just a little dirty. Not sure what's going on. Oh wow. Yeah, you need a new filter on your fridge, I guess. Thanks for that. Hello. Wow, I've never played with one of these before. Whiteboard. You gonna give me a whiteboard? Yep, welcome to our open house. Nice. That's pretty cool. Now you might be wondering why you have 3 light switches and we only have 1 light up on the ceiling. When you see that upside down outlet over there, that's called a half hot. That's going to be connected to one of your switches. So the lights on there tell me that that outlet is hot right now. Lights turning off telling me that it's connected to this first switch. Alright, so we're good there. So I hit the second switch, nothing happens. Light doesn't turn on. Third switch, light turns on. So these last 2 were actually wired for a fan kit and light combo units. You could turn on the fan or the light or both. They just put a light in here. So you can upgrade it to a fan kit if you want, and you should have a separate switch for it. Closet door guides are broken. Don't want these doors to fall off onto somebody. So I'm in the hall bathroom. I've got both drain stops pulled. That one's actually activated properly. This one pulls up, but nothing happens. And it's still building up water, so it's telling me that there's a slowdown in this drain somewhere. See how fast that drains. That's pretty good. So it's likely just that this was causing that drain to slow down. Probably just needs to be seated right, properly installed. So we got some crap down there. See if I can see that. What is that? It's like a rubber band. Crazy. No wonder it's slowing down. Focus, come on. Yeah, that's what's slowing your drain down. Oh, and I gotta pull the drain over here. No overflows. Make sure that one drains properly. Yeah, with no overflows, if you just let that run, it's going right onto the floor. Pretty good drain going there. Yeah, that one's draining fine. This one's got some problems. Now the toilet was flushing fine. I was giving it a nice little shimmy shake. Make sure it's not moving. Make sure the tank isn't moving. Give it a good flush. Got a good flush. Now we got PEX lines coming in to that shut off right there. It's just a simple pull on, pull off, shut off. Now the bathtub shower combo unit. It's all plastic. There's no drain stop. You can see they replaced it with this rubber stop. And it is leaking a little bit. So the diverter is leaking a little bit of water when it was switched up to the shower head. For 45 PSI, it's putting out quite a bit of water, in my opinion. Yeah, that diverter is starting to go bad. Let's just make sure our sinks didn't drain at all, or leak at all underneath the cabinets. That one's got a little bit of previous moisture damage. That'll happen if you put a wet shower bottle in there, or a shampoo bottle or something. Oh, no. Got a lot of water. A lot of water dripping here. Definitely need a plumber to fix this. Quite a few of the doorknobs are loose today. I was trying to figure out how to tighten them. Because there's no screws in there. There's nothing to tighten up. The screws are gone. Adios. Most dishwashers nowadays are going to have a drain in the bottom of them. Oh, that stinks real bad today. And we're retaining a little bit of water. So you got a gunked up filter. And there's a quarter in there. Oh, that stinks. Yep, that needs to be cleaned. So we got the dishwasher going for a cycle right now. This is for a water filter system, RO system that is not installed right now. If you wanted to add one, at least you have a faucet for it. Now the other faucet's working just great today. Garbage disposal, nice and quiet. Do have a high loop. Drains look good. Is there. Countertops look good. All the cabinets were opening properly. Now the oven itself, we've got a little bit of burn on the top of it there, so it was starting to smoke quite good. And the filter for the vent, pretty much clogged. This is on high. Can you hear it? Can you even hear the motor? There's a little bit of the dishwasher in the background. I'll turn that off. Can you even hear that? That was high. This is low. There's nothing being sucked out through that. This vent is terrible. But if I were you, I would put a new vent in there. That one is not good. And on the back side of the oven, we do have an anti-tip device, which is that little metal piece down there that the oven will slide under so this thing can't tip over. So if a kid wants to come up here and step on that, this whole thing doesn't tip over on top of him. I don't know, what do you feel about that cabinet door placement? Should those hinges be on the other side, especially on that one? So it's easier to access, say, spices or whatnot while you're cooking? Or should it be open to the right, so while you're doing dishes, you can just put your dishes right back up in there really easily? I don't know, it's up to you. That little circle is a door stop. That's where a door stop connects into. You put that little band, that little piece of metal feeds right through that circle, and then it sticks out, so when you open this door, it doesn't slam into the other one. Need to replace that. Kind of a crazy closet. Quite a bit of space in there, you just can't easily access about a third of it. Pretty big. Towels, bathroom stuff. You've got about a 4x3 box on top where you can put a lot of big stuff. Of course, if you can fit it through this hole first, you can put it up there. I don't know, you might want to put a smaller shelf up there, maybe get a step stool so you can put more stuff up in there. This is always a place to look out for termite tubes. This doesn't get looked at very often or inspected, and there's usually stuff in here. And another cricket back there in the corner. Those guys are everywhere today. Crickets and spiders, that's the name of the game in this house. When I first got here, I found this wheel on the floor in the bathroom. It's the wheel off the bottom of this glass door. Not sliding real well. This one isn't sliding at all. Fix it. That's one thing I noticed about the bathroom. You only have one window up here. Kind of looks right into your neighbor's bedroom on the second floor. Probably want to get some type of opaque material, something to block that window up a little bit. Just FYI. Got a couple areas in front of the shower where the grout needs to be updated. Once those crack out and fall out, water can go right in between that flooring in the shower and cause some problems to the subflooring. So this is how I can tell when painters are here. See that? One, it's upside down. Should be flipped over. And this outlet over here doesn't have anything on it. The light switch in the closet is GFI protected. Painters. See, this doorknob has screws in it. Both sides. This doorknob has screws in it. Both sides. 4-year-old house, you're going to have a little bit of cracking around the windows. It's not a problem unless it's major cracking. These cracks like this just need to be filled in with some caulking and repainted over the top of. Don't stress out about these. So I just set your thermostat to 71, 76 in here right now. Just kicked on, it's pretty quiet. Let's give it a few minutes to warm or cool down and take some temperatures. Even in the bedrooms, GFI protected? I don't think so. GFI protected? I don't think so. Painters, I'll tell you. Looking at a repaired sheetrock crack right down the middle of the living room / kitchen area. It's perfectly fine. Just cosmetically it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in the right light. You can see another one over there. One there, one there. It's just the width of a sheetrock panel. And then they start cracking on the sides and they put tape over it and then they cover it with mud. Sometimes that crack shows again, so they put more texture over the top of it and try and make it blend in. With all the lights on and stuff, you can't really see it, but you get the shade right, and yeah, it sticks out pretty good. You can sand that down, retexture it all, but it takes a lot more work than most people are willing to put into it. Found out why it smells so bad in your house. You put trash cans in the garage, it just gets so hot in here, and then all the trash just reeks, and that air comes right into your house when you come back inside. It stinks really bad. So I'm taking some temps of your AC system here. We got 72 degrees roughly going in for the air return. And then we're gonna walk around and look at some of the vents in the bedrooms. 72 down to 58. So 72 down to 60 is 12, so down to 58, that gives us 14 degree split. That's right where we want to see it. Blue is cold, red is hot, white is even hotter. So yeah, we're right around that 60 degrees where we want to be, 58. You can check them in the bathrooms. Look at that hot spot right above that. How crazy is that? What's going on here? Those lights are super hot. These lights are not super hot. But I'm more concerned about what is so hot up here. Why do we have a big red spot going across the ceiling in the bathroom? See that red spot there? It's 82 degrees on the ceiling right there. 80 degrees where it's red. On the sidewall, you're 78 degrees. So it's roughly 4 degrees warmer just in that area. So I would take a look at the insulation in that area and see what is going on there. That's weird that it goes kind of in a quarter circle. But even with the insulation on the attic hatch there, we still get a little bit of heat coming through there. Got some of the PEX, that's your water supply. The red is hot, blue is cold. And the kitchen vent looks good. 61. Sometimes you gotta get the right distance. 59, 58. Those look pretty good today. All in all, it's a pretty good house. I don't see too many things wrong with it. You definitely want to put some rocks in the yard, prevent whatever's digging out there, prevent erosion. Makes sense just to put rocks in the yard to stop all that dirt from getting washed away. The stucco looks good, a couple basic cracks, windows look good, they're functioning great. Your roof looks amazing. You've got about another 5-10 years before you need to start looking at the underlayment on that one. But in general, you know, your hallway bathroom sink leaks, a couple things here and there, but watch the video, read the report. I'm Home Inspector Dan, BPG Inspections. Give me a call, send me a text message if you have any questions. You can sure schedule me for a next inspection at 1-800-285-3001 or just directly at bpginspections.com. Thanks for joining me today on my inspection, and we'll see you next time. Found another little bit of a warm spot above the front door here. The square areas kind of telling me that something is out of place right there. Up to 86, 87 degrees on the ceiling right there, whereas the wall right below it is an 80. Big temperature difference there, so we're letting some hot air in around the sheetrock right above the door. Let's see what it looks like right outside. Completely inaccessible. So you need somebody to get up in the attic, go up above the front door, make sure that all that insulation is where it needs to be.